Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to some more live coding. Today's topic is Electron. Electron JavaScript. If you're not familiar with Electron, I'll try and describe it at a high level. It's a way for you to write applications in Node.js as the back end, and the front end is all HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's specifically for desktop applications. If you've ever used Discord, that's written in Electron, using Electron. And so is Slack. And so are many, many other things. Let me go ahead and get some other music going. Okay. So, the goal for today is to write a simple app and package it up and get a little experience with Electron. Be able to do the basics, be comfortable making another application. So we're going to do a simple app, and I guess the first thing we need to do is make sure I've got Node.js installed. Okay, so it looks like I do. Okay, let me check what version I have. Node version 8.10. It's not the best, but I guess that's all Ubuntu gives you, so I don't think I'm going to need any particular features in 9 or 10 or 11, so we'll go with the system default for now. And if that doesn't work, we will install a newer version. Let's see. Actually, npm not installed? Okay. What is the package? Is it called Node.js? Node.js is already installed. apt remove Node.js. Alright. I am just going to install Node.js. Oops. If you do a question mark at the beginning of your search, it'll force it to be a search query instead of it treating it as a website. Yeah, let's go. Let's try 11. Well, what does it say over here? Let's go with the current. Let's go with 11. Okay, so download Node real quick. And let's extract it. tar extract zip file. And no, not gzip. B J. No, hold on. Is it still downloading? Tar xzip. I don't know what a xzip, the command. So if you have a BZ, it's a J, CJF. If it's a gzip, it's F, XF. No. Is that it? Tar. Oh, does it say XJ? Capital J? Is that what it is? Lowercase j is bzip and uppercase J is xzip. Okay, I'll have to remember that one. J, capital J is for the xzips. I don't even know what format an xzip is, truly. Or why they chose to use it. Is that crazy new compression algorithm made by Pied Piper? I heard that was crazy. Okay, where is it? Oh, I guess that's it. So what I'll just do is, it's in my downloads. I'm gonna move Node just to my home directory. I'm gonna edit my bin. So, yeah, at the end of my path, I'm just gonna add home/node bin. And I'll go ahead and start a new terminal. And now I should have Node available. Yep, I've got Node version 11.11, and I should have npm as well. Okay, so now I can go ahead and run this install command, but I guess first let's make a directory for our project. we'll call this, or we'll call our project Electron HTTP tool, and that's what we'll make. We'll make a very simple app that will help us do get and post requests. It'll just be like an HTTP debugging tool. Okay, so let's go in there, and now let's try npm install. I'm not sure what the -d is. What is that on? Okay. Can I just do Electron? Electron latest. Uh-oh, what is it saying? npm what? Oh. npm I, not -i. I guess I is short for install. I never use I, just do npm install normally. But this should download the Electron packages and everything. And so my understanding is that it's got a C++, the Electron core has a C++ backend that embeds the node processor on top of it, and then it uses Chromium to do the WebKit to present the front end. So now if we do npm-l, oh no, that just lists everything. Okay, well we should have it because we got our node packages, or our node modules thing here. So I'm actually going to use, I'm going to try WebStorm for this one. I should have WebStorm installed. Yeah, WebStorm is JetBrains IDE for JavaScript and web stuff. And this is my first time running it on this machine, so there's no settings to import. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a launcher script, and I don't really care about any of those plugins. Okay, give it a second to load up. So now we're gonna have to find the documentation. I guess we can browse their webpage a little more. Web technologies, yeah, Electron uses Chromium and Node.js, so you can build your app with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That is, the one thing that's really nice about this is not the fact that it's JavaScript in the back end. I could really care less. I'm not even a big JavaScript fan, to be honest. But writing GUIs and writing web interfaces can be tricky, it can be tough, and to get them cross-platform in particular is very tough. Well, the web, doing the HTML to CSS and the JavaScript for a front end is pretty appealing compared to using all the other GUI libraries that are out there, and being limited to their widget set, and it's more complicated to build widgets, but there's so much HTML and CSS code out there and libraries that you can leverage that it just makes building the front end really, really attractive, and that's the big benefit in my opinion. And yeah, cross-platform, so it runs on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and it will run consistently because it's got the WebKit, the Chromium front end, I guess. Okay. Oh yeah, and so I guess it does provide a way to do updates, native menus, and notifications, the Windows installers, which is nice. Okay, so explore the Electron API demos and check them out on GitHub. Okay, spin up the QuickStart app and see Electron in action. A minimum Electron app with helpful notifications. So when you do Electron, there ends up being two processes. There's the back-end process, and then there's the front-end process. And the trick is communicating between them. So let's actually go back a directory. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this, and then we'll go ahead and git clone their sample app here. No. It's annoying in Ubuntu because there's two clipboards. There's the Control V clipboard and the Shift Insert clipboard, and they behave differently. Anyway, let's go ahead and clone this. So now we've got our Electron app. It's Electron QuickStart. And it's got a package.json, which should define the dependencies. So if we just do npm install, it will look at that file and it's going to install the dependencies needed for this project, and in this case it's going to install Electron because that's the only dependency. So now we've got a node modules for this project and it's ready to go. So let's see, in the package.json, yeah, so there's a start script. So they do npm start, and if you do npm start, then you're using the start script here. So it's just a shortcut for, in this case, just running Electron dot. So I guess Electron is an app or a launch script that they install with Electron. So we can go ahead and try running it ourselves. Okay, no, let's try npm start. Okay. So what we've got here is the Hello World app. Great, we've got the menus. Oh wow, they're even hooked up already? Okay. Window, minimize, close with shortcuts. View. Okay, and then you've got your normal web controls. So you can increase it, decrease it, just like you do on a web page. Control 0, go back. I bet you can, you can disable this, but if you do Control Shift I, you can actually pull up the inspector and the console and everything. So interesting. It truly is just a Chrome renderer. So let's check out the code and see how this works. So first, actually I'm just going to use Visual Studio Code to open up this directory. Okay, so let's take a look at... I'm just going to make you... There we go. Okay, so package.json, that's just the dependencies and everything. License index, this is the actual HTML file that gets rendered. And nothing special there. The only thing that looks special here is renderer.js. And it's basically just saying you can require other files to run in here, and that's where you just put some custom scripts if you had it. So it's basically just showing you that you can include files, and this is how you do it. Okay, actually very helpful, very good. Okay, and so there's nothing in the renderer. The README doesn't really have anything helpful, at least for me right now. So the main.js is really where all the action is happening. And so at the top, it's defining an app and a browser window. I guess that's going to be our back end and our front end, essentially. And then it calls create window, where it instantiates a browser window with some properties. Okay, and then it just tells it to load up. Okay, so there's a function called create window, and this is everything inside of it. So I bet we could duplicate that if we wanted to create two windows. So let's actually... Where is it called? So at the bottom here, app on ready, create window. Okay, I wonder if we can just duplicate it, and if we start it up, if we'll actually get two windows. Two independent windows. Yep. And then let's see, they should be separate, so if we close one, it shouldn't affect the other. Okay, so that's really good to know. So like if we wanted to hook up the help about and pop up a little about window, all we would have to do is basically have another function called, we'll call this one create main window. And then down here, I suppose we could... Okay, I'm going to clean up some of these comments now. So they're kind of redundant and we don't need all of these. Okay, so on close, what is it doing? On the close event, it says dereference the window object. Usually you would store windows in an array if your app supports multiple windows. This is the time when you should delete the corresponding element. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, they're saying basically you'd have an array of all the windows, but in this case, let's just create 2, and we'll just discretely store them as separate ones right now. If we were going to have more than 2, I would do the array. And so I'm going to basically copy that and see if we're going to do this differently. Yeah, I do want this to be very different. So the width is going to be smaller. It's going to be much smaller. We'll just make it a little square. So what I'm doing is making an about window. So when someone goes to help about, the little help window pops up and it says, hey, you know, this is the author. This is where you can find more information about it. And we'll just say about, open about.html. And at this point, I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call it templates, views, windows, templates. I don't know. I'm going to call it templates. We'll go with that. You can always rename it later, but I'm going to put all the HTML files in there. And up here, we'll go ahead and say open templates. And ideally, you would say, okay, we'll do to do use path.join, whatever the join is. It's always good practice to use, because the directory separators are different in Windows and Linux. You can use the, what is this, the /. You can use this in Windows and Linux and all of them, and it should work just fine, but it's always good practice to use there's some kind of join function in all the languages. I don't happen to know what it is. It's os.path.join in Python, but I don't know what it is here. So this should still be safe. Now, we're going to rename this one to create about window. And for now, we'll leave it here on the onReady until we hook it up to a button event. And so yeah, let's refactor this one to be the about window. Okay, so let's run it again real quick, and actually let's create the about file real quick. About.html. We're gonna say about this app is the title. About. And there's not going to be any scripts or anything. Just a paragraph tag that says, this is a simple Electron app. We'll go with that. Now let's try and run it. Now if we... Uh-oh. A JavaScript error occurred. Create windows not defined. Oh, no problem. It's... I renamed that one to create main window. So we'll rename that. It looks like it tried to run, it just hung. Okay, so good. This is the little about window. Actually, that one doesn't need all of those menu items. So I wonder if you can, let's see, if you control click into it. No, 2 definitions. Here we go. Browser window construction options. No, let's see. Electron new window. So this one was called browser window. I wonder if there's a simpler one that I should use, or if I should just tell it when I instantiate it No frameless window. Oh, that's interesting. A frameless window would be good if you wanted to do some kind of overlay. If you wanted to do an overlay with like a transparent thing and no window, you might be able to do that. Frameless would also be good, maybe if you have a game or something like that. Setting background color, modal windows. Modal windows. Oh. Interesting. You can make a modal. A modal window is a child window that disables the parent window. I see. We don't want to do that, but that's interesting to know you can do that. Windbreeze TV says, yo. Hello. Welcome. Page visibility API. Whether the window is hidden or minimized. Okay, I don't care about that. Here we go. Class browser window, and here's all the constructor items. New browser window. Width, height, use content. What I'm looking for is a menu. Something about the menu. Min width, mid height, resizable, closable, focusable, always on top. Full screen. Okay, full screen's a good one to know. Full screen would be cool for some things. Skip taskbar. Shows whether to show the window in taskbar. Default is false. Okay. That's going to be like the taskbar over here on the left. I think that's what it means. Okay, show, frame, parent, modal, auto hide menu bar. That's it. Auto hide the menu bar unless Alt is pressed. Default is false. Okay, let's go back here. And let's try on this about window to tell it that we want auto hide menu bar to be true. Now, in JavaScript, I don't think you can have the extra comma after the last element. So let's try this again. Let's try launching it. And good, the menu bar is gone from this one. Now, it said unless you hold Alt. Yeah, so if you press Alt, you hide and show it, which is fine, but we want it hidden by default on just on this about window. Only on the about window. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at some of the other. Let me make it a little bigger. So there was auto hide menu bar, and that was good. Enable larger than screen, background color. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, alpha is supported. Okay, so you can make a transparent window. Interesting. That would be very interesting. And opacity. So you can have opacity here or in the background color. I guess you can set it either way. Transparent. Makes the window transparent. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly how those play together. Opacity, transparency, and that one. But it's good to know you can do that. An overlay could be very cool. Title bar style, full screen window title, thick frame, vibrancy, zoom to page width, tabbing identifier, web preferences. Okay, here we go. Web preferences, dev tools off. Yeah, so default is true. So you saw how we did Control-Shift-I and we turned on the inspector. Well, it looks like you can turn that off here. So let's go into the main window. Oh, here it is, web preferences. So they've already got the top one. And we'll say DevTools is false. Now, we may want to enable this while we're debugging and stuff, but I just want to see if it works. So now if we do Control-Shift-I, yeah, or F12, we get nothing. Okay, that's good. Node integration, whether node integration is enabled. Okay, that's interesting. So like in our about window, we don't really need any node integration because we're not running any backend, we're not doing any backend triggers or anything. The only trigger it's sending is like all these events, the event that we're sending. And I don't think we need Node integration just for that. Yeah. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind, and one thing that actually really concerns me about Electron apps, is the security aspect. Because the browser is just notorious for security problems. And I don't mean like buffer overflow problems, I just mean cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgeries. Those really are in particular like HTML injection and stuff like that. And the other one is like with Discord. I think there's an app handler in Windows like Discord : blah blah blah, and I think people were exploiting that a while ago. If you clicked a link in your browser, it would execute a command in Discord, and I think they would just tack on like a semicolon and give it a system command and it would run it. So that was pretty dangerous. I think they've made that not default anymore. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else. Okay, looks like we can turn off JavaScript and we can turn on web security. It's off by default. Interesting. I kind of wish they would set that on by default and make you turn it off. I don't know. Secure by default's always a better option, but I can see how that's not very beginner friendly. But we don't want beginners writing insecure applications. That's how you get insecure applications. That's why it's better to have safe defaults, so that people who don't know better will at least have a safe application by default and not go, oh, I didn't know I had to just turn on, I didn't know I just had to set security to true. Okay, so now that we've got this going and we got some nice background, okay. So we've got a good little framework for an app going. Now, what I want to do is add. Let's go to the index. So what I want to do here is actually say HTTP helper. We basically want to make a little thing that helps us do HTTP requests. And in this case, we'll say we basically want a form. I don't know if we actually need a form element. Maybe we could just do a button. Button ID equals submit request. And I forget, is this how we do a button? Or do I have to... Yeah, I think I have to put the text inside here. Send. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna use the terminal down here now, so I can just do npm start. There we go. Now we've got a button here. Now what we want to do is basically send this event back to, and I guess this is nice, I can make it bigger. So I want to click the button and send it back to the event and have something happen when I click that button. So let's close this. Let's go back to the Electron.js documentation. Wait, they had a quick link here. Writing your first Electron app. Okay, so we've already got our app going pretty good. Now what I'm looking for specifically, this is all stuff we've already done. App on activate. Let's see. If we go back to the main JS, we've got... Yeah, on activate is where it creates the window. Okay, running your app, that's fine. Trying this example, we already did that. Okay, I guess that's it. That's all they got. Now let's go back to guides. Oh, they've got quite a few guides, actually. Very nice. I like that. Okay, debugging, no. We want to find... We already did this one. Installation, no. I'm looking specifically for sending events. Notifications would be cool too. Let's try a desktop notification. QuickStart. Using Selenium. Selenium's really cool for doing automated web interaction. Okay, so they've got a packager, it looks like, so that you can build packages to distribute easily. Okay, so boilerplate. No, let's see. Let's see if the quick start. Here we go. To check out the process architecture, see main and renderer processes. Now, this is what I was saying. Because it's not just one process, you can't just call a function from our render. We can't just call a function directly from our render process or from our backend to update the render process. You have to basically send a message between the processes. So yeah, in Electron, the process that runs main is called the main process. Then there's a render process that runs Chromium. The difference is they handle different things. Here we go, using Electron APIs. This is what I want. Electron offers a number of APIs that support the development of a desktop application in both the main process and the renderer process. In both processes, you'd access Electron's API by requiring its included module. Okay, so I guess that's already here. We're already requiring it here, and in the renderer, no, it looks like they didn't. So we want const electron equals require electron. Was that it? No, it's just require electron. So let's run it and just make sure that still works. Yeah, no problems there. Okay. All Electron APIs are assigned a process type. Many of them can only be used from the main process. Some of them only from the render process. Some from both. The documentation for each individual API will state which process it can be used from. A window in Electron is, for instance, created using the browser window class, which we already saw. It is only available in the main process. Makes sense. Since communication between the processes is possible, a renderer process can call upon the main process to perform tasks. Electron comes with a module called Remote that exposes APIs, usually only available in the main process. In order to create a browser window from a renderer process, we'd use the remote as a middleman. Interesting. Okay. This... Okay. Using Node.js APIs. Okay, Electron exposes full access to Node.js both in the main and the render. This has two important implications. All APIs available in Node.js are available in Electron. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I expected that. Okay, so yeah, you can use any Node NPM module, basically. That's good. Okay, so I'm still missing... Here we go, official guides. Let's see, processing button click Electron. I guess they didn't quite explain it very well in that example. All they showed was how to make a new window. So on click, you give it a function. Okay, so we go back to our index and we'll try this. We'll say in our button, we'll say on click equals what do we want? Make request. Okay, now I wonder, make request. Now if we go into our renderer and we make a function called make request, and we just say console.log making HTTP request, because that's what it will be doing. We're just going to try and see if with the button hookup is working. Okay, so that does not seem to be hooked up. The correct way, and use this. Interesting. So they're saying the proper way to do it is not with the on-click, but, and this is just the Stack Overflow answer, so it's not the official docs, and so we're gonna take it with a little bit of skepticism, but we're gonna try it out. So it's saying bind it like that. Oh, and yeah, when we did that, then it quit saying it wasn't ever used. So let's try launching it again. Now if we click the button, do we get it? No. No, still not. Let's see. Am I putting that in the right place? Okay. Let's try out this medium post real quick. I just want to see, I need an example of how to wire up the button click, because their tutorial it like touched on the fact that you need to do it, but so yeah, here's the guides. Oh, here we go. There's the API reference and everything else. So we looked through the guides here, and there didn't seem to be the thing we needed. Let's just try this. Electron button example. And I'm looking to see, yeah, ideally stuff from the official documentation. Well, so this is from it's from their blog. Okay. Show me how to call back to the process event. Yeah, this should be okay. Renderer process. No, that's way too big for... Okay. I just want to see how to call back to the process. Here we go. Here's the main JS. That's fine. Okay, so here's the index.html. Oh no, go away. Okay, still haven't covered it. They still haven't covered it yet. Wait, here we go. Here's a button. We got a button. Add event listener. Okay, so that's... Oh, I guess you gotta get the button first. Get element by ID. Yeah, so if we go back here, document query selector. Maybe... Yeah, maybe that didn't work. Get element by ID. And the ID here is that. I don't know if I need... Yeah, so get button by ID, just give it that. And let's make sure that is the right button, right? Yeah, button ID, submit request. Okay, so now that we've got that, and how did they do it? Yeah, so you get the button add event listener click, and then you give it a function. In this case, there's no parameters. Let's give this one a shot. Now, see the... I mean, it's not like that, is it? It's not complaining because it doesn't exist yet. Now... Interesting. So... the renderer... This click thing is not working. Oh, you know what? Well... no, that should be okay. So, what else? IPC render? Include the IPC module to communicate to the main process. Is that what I'm missing? IPC module Electron. Okay, yeah, so this is the event emitter. Here we go. There we go. In the main process and in the renderer. That's what I needed. I needed to know what it was called. IPC probably stands for inter-process communication. So that makes sense. So in our main backend, we will want to have, let's see. Yeah, we'll have some basically callbacks, but I think we need to define them before. Well, I guess they're all callbacks, so we'll put it down here and see if this works. And down here we'll call this onSubmitRequest, console.log. Sure, we'll print the arguments. And we don't want to send anything back. Well, I guess we do. And we'll say response. We'll call that one response. And we'll just pretend HTML contents. And that's it. We only want one. Okay, so now we basically set up a listener that will process when it gets this event, and then in the renderer process we have to tell it, okay, let's ax all of that. Okay, so this is the part that confuses me a little bit. Why you do require Electron and you get the IPC renderer. Does it consider that a type? I guess it does. Electron.IPC render. Okay. And so we don't. Well, why not? We'll log it. Well, wait a second. We still need to hook up the button click. So this just sends the event. We'll just send the message, and this is basically going to be the submit request. And what we'll pass it is basically a URL to where we want it to post or do a get. Okay, and then when we get a response, we want to say HTTP response received, and then add the contents. Okay, so there's a send sync and there's a send. So that's interesting. It'll depend on how we want to use it. Okay, so we've got these hooked up. So let's just see if that runs without the button. Without the button click, it should run those things on startup, I guess. But it doesn't. Let's see. Yeah, this is where it should send starting ... So can we confirm that? So where is it actually outputting the console log if it's not there? Oops. Console.log Electron output. Starting renderer process. And if we go into the main, starting main. So we should see... Yeah, we see it start the main, but the renderer one doesn't seem to get run. Oh, hold on. I think I know what's going on. We did a ./renderer, and now it needs to be ... because we put this in a templates folder. So that was it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it was just never actually running the renderer, and now it actually... Yeah, we don't want send sync because that seemed to freeze it all up. So let's send it async and then just let it process it whenever it gets done. Okay, so now we can see that... Well... Okay, so... The renderer is starting up and triggering this submit send, which goes here, and it triggers this, and it sends back. Response. Okay, so this is interesting. It's half of these. It's working one way. It's working from the renderer, sending the event to the main. But when the main sends the message back, it's not getting it. Because if it was getting it, well, wait a second. What if I defined that up here? No, it's still not getting the... It's still not running this. Which is a little weird, because it's running the line after it. So, oh, you know what? That console.log... Is that console.log happening in the browser window? So let's see, if we go back here and we turn back on the DevTools, and I pull open the console in the browser window, am I going to see that message? Yeah, it is in this console. That's why it's not showing up. I was expecting it to show up in the terminal console, but it's actually in the browser console when it's in the renderer. So, how about this? Why don't we try something like this to get it logging on the back end? We'll say, let's create an event to send it back, send log messages back, essentially. So back in the main, let's create another one. We'll say IPC main.on log. Then we will... Okay, actually we want to say the event and the argument. And it's going to basically just log it. Console.log arg. Boom, just like that. And then over here we can actually say... we'll make a function called log that takes a message, just to make this a little shorter. And what we'll do is send IPC send an event for log and send the message. Okay, so now we've got that, and then we can just do things like log starting renderer. And then that should show up on the console when we run it. And there we go. And now we see on the back end starting main process, starting renderer. And if we wanted to, we could easily just change that to a file. Now put it to a file instead. But we don't want to do that. Okay, excellent. So this is starting to look good and it's starting to come together. Mythic says, just popping in, good luck and good night. Hey, thanks, Mythic. Good luck with all your studying. Okay, so we want to handle when it gets a message back. And since we're talking about the browser JavaScript, I think at this point we can just say document.getElementById, and let's go ahead and add a text field. I guess we can just make it main text. We'll just make a paragraph with an ID of main text, and we'll say just get the main text, and yeah, how do you? I forget how you set the text on an element, so let's try that out. Okay. It looks like that worked. Okay, and the response, we'll actually make the response the value. I don't like R, we'll call it the value. And so what we want to send back is, yeah, the HTML contents of the response. That's what it'll actually be. And instead, actually, we don't want a P, but we should do a pre. A pre will be a better. It'll be a pre-formatted element, and it'll render nicer since it's text. A bunch of benchmark exams and a bunch of projects. That's what you're working on, Mythic? Yeah. Keep with it though, those, that studies are important. Okay, so now that actually seemed to break the value. Okay, why did that break? Was it because I changed it to a P or a pre? I guess what I should do is a pre is a span, right? So I guess what I should do is something more like this. A P inside a pre, which is actually inside a code because it's a code, and then we'll say span ID equals main text. We'll try that. Now let me verify, is a pre element a block element or a span element? If it's a block element, it shouldn't go inside a P. I actually don't think the pre goes inside a P. Okay, let's try this again. No, okay, so hold on, just to make sure it's not something weird with the element that I'm picking. Okay. So something is messed up here. Value IPC renderer on response, get element by ID, set the inner HTML. And over here, send response, and the arg. And actually what we want here is going to be the URL. And so here we actually want to send it, yeah, the URL. URL to fetch. Just some kind of debug text. Okay. So let's start it again. There we go. HTML contents of the response. Now it's back. I think there was the typo I had on one of the variables was causing an error, but it should be fixed now. And actually, in this case, we'll just say log. Okay. Now we need to hook up the button event. So, let's see. Now this is going to be the front end stuff, so we're going to say JavaScript button on click event. Yes, I want add event listener. Yeah, this is... Okay, so I guess we can put this down at the bottom. Get element by ID, and the ID of this is submit button. Well, let's call it why not? We'll call it submit button. I think it'll be a little easier to remember. So get the submit button, add a click listener, and actually what we want to do is called that's when we want to send the request. And we'll actually pull the values, so we'll say to do pull URL from form field. We'll grab that in a second. But let's just see if we can get the button click hooked up. There we go. So you know what? I think the button click was probably working before. It was just that I was expecting the log to come here and it was happening in the browser log. So in this case, we'll say get the text from a form field that we need to create. So we'll create input type equals text and ID equals URL. How's that? And those are just single elements. And we'll do a BR. Okay, and actually we should do another one right here. Actually, I think the pre is a block element, so it should line break by itself. Okay, now so we'll say document.getElementById, and that's the URL. And inner text, I think that will do. I think that's what we want. And so let's try that. And in here, we'll just set a default value, so I don't have to fill it out every time, at least for now. Okay, so let's give it a run. And actually, before I do, I'm going to get rid of this about window. I'll hook that up later to the file menu event. Okay, so now we've got this. Now, yeah, we don't want this one happening up here anymore. And I want to refactor this a little bit. I'm just going to put the log function up top, and that just logs it in the back end. Okay, now this is the handle response from HTTP request. Okay, that's our listener there. And then we've got our button click event. And now we can delete that to do because we've done it. Now let's run it again and try it out. Now when we click the button is when we should see the data pop up. Perfect. So now the next step is to actually hook up an HTTP request over here. Let's see, we got a comment from Buzzmin Kyunhoo. Oh my god, you monster, I am learning Django now. Oh, you're doing Django? I like Django a lot. Django and Flask are both really good. If it depends on your needs, Flask is going to be easier to learn. Django is going to be a bit more powerful. I like Django though. It's very well documented and it serves me in a lot of use cases. Okay. Okay, let's clean up. There's still a bunch of comments from the template. So let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit. And if it gets too big, we can always split it out into other files. And I'm actually going to get rid of that about window. If we want to add it in later, we can. But not very important for now. It was good to learn that we can just easily open a second window like that, though. Okay, so I'm just kind of cleaning up this app. Okay. Now wait, I'm gonna put this include way up at the top, up here like that. Now, interesting. Can I do like this? Yep. That's better. That's much cleaner. Now IPC events. So this is all the IPC events. Okay. Okay, so now we are in really good shape. We just need to make an HTTP request. So we're doing that in the backend, so we'll do Node.js HTTP request. I don't know off the top of my head what the best way is. Let's see. Let's do example. Okay, Twilio. We'll see what you have to say. Twilio is a service for SMS and voice and phone services. It's an API for doing all that. HTTP standard library. Oh, boom boom. HTTPS.get. Oh, okay. So we've got const HTTPS equals require HTTPS. Okay. And then in... No, sorry, this is the renderer. I don't... Well, you know what? I guess I could do this straight from the renderer, right? I mean... There's no... Is there any reason for me to actually send the button press to the backend? Because I'm not using any APIs that are specific to the backend. So let me just comment out this whole event. And here, yeah, so when we get the click, let's just do the request ourselves in the renderer process. Maybe that'll lock it up. If it does, then we'll try sending it back. I'm guessing that's what will happen. Or will it? Because this is an async event. So... And the URL is going to be document get ID inner text. Okay. And we need to handle the response. So we're going to do one of those lambda functions. And then okay, let's see. I don't want... Yeah, let's just go ahead and we'll borrow that. We'll borrow that little piece of code. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Faisal Antu asks, is this whole live going to be available after 6 hours? I can't watch now, but I want to watch it later. Yes, so as soon as the stream goes offline, it should be available, but the only exception there is that if the stream goes really long, it only has the last 2 hours available right away. But after it finishes processing on YouTube, then the whole video is up in its entirety. It usually doesn't take too long. It usually takes like an hour or two before YouTube is done fully processing the whole stream and uploading it as a video. So in 6 hours from now, yeah, I think you're good. The whole video should be up. Okay, so basically we've got a callback here to handle when we get the response. And okay, so it's basically just getting the data back in chunks. And now wait a second. Too many parentheses. Right? No, it's, yeah, the get. Hold on. The on error is, yeah, after the whole response get thing. Now, why is it red squiggly there? Expected semicolon? No, so hold on. Gotta get my braces right. And that's one thing I hate about JavaScript is these braces and colons and brace colon, brace colon, brace colon at the end. Okay, so this one is not matching the right ending. And why is that? I guess that one. Hold on, let's break this. Is there format file? Format code, format document, Control Shift I. Okay, so we've got this. Those are matched up there, and these are not required, right? So I actually avoid the semicolons. Okay, so that's the end of this function here. And then when we add the parenthesis, that closes. Oh, that's the problem. I had one too many. I had a parenthesis where I shouldn't have had one up there. Okay. And then this is going to be our close. I'm still missing one more. One more? Wait a second. Okay, this one. You know what I need is the rainbow braces. People showed me this the other day. Rainbow brackets. Rainbow brackets. Yeah, this gives you colored brackets to help you match them up. Do I need to, oh, I don't need to restart. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you can see there's, well, they picked like all the same colors. So, okay. So it's this parenthesis that's missing at the end. I'm really confused now. Okay, I'm just gonna take this whole thing and I have them backwards. Was that the problem? Brace colon. Jeez. Okay. Okay, we're back in business. We're back. Now, yeah, so we were saying that, and I'm gonna log it on the back end log. So when we run it now, it should do the request without I guess we need to update the data when it's... So actually, we'll print it out to the backend, and we also want to update the main text. So we'll copy this over, put it right there. And what we want to do is the data, fill it with the data. Alright, this should be the moment of truth. This is like tying it all together. We're going to hit send, and it should go fetch and fill it out. Oops. Send. Send. Okay, debug time. So we'll go ahead and log and say sending request, ... And then, okay, we'll say response received, and then log that out too. Okay, so is it ever... Okay, it's getting the sending request. Is it just taking a long time? Now, let's see. Okay, so it's doing the get. And let's put the log response received. Oh. Okay, let's see if it even gets that far. Sending request, and it just kind of hangs right there. Now, is that because it is just like getting lost? Okay, let's try going back to the inter-process communication method. So we'll just put that back on this side and say, here's where we're going to do the actual fetching. And then yeah, here we'll copy the sender, and we'll send that back here. We'll uncomment the listener that handles the response. Send submit request. Okay. Let's see if this works any better. Uh-oh, a JavaScript error occurred in the main process. HTTPS is not defined. Oh, I need to move the import over here. And maybe there was an error happening that I was not seeing. Okay, URL to fetch undefined. Let me see. So I need to pass, when I say submit request, I need to actually send them the URL. And so, in that case, we'll say get url.innerText. Okay, now we can restart it. It should work a little better. Document is not defined. Oh, I guess I left a little bit of the front-end code in this. So, yeah, we actually want to say the URL's actually coming from this argument. Okay, now let's try. Oh, one more. Invalid domain name. Oh, that's the problem, is my... Why can't it find the domain name? Let me try adding an extra slash at the end. Oh, URL to fetch is blank. Why is it blank? Now, I must be sending it blank over here. So, okay, let's say text content. Let's see. Is that all? It's because it is a... No. Okay, so we need to figure out why this URL's coming backwards. Sending request to URL, and then the URL here. So why? Let's see, it's a form. It's a form element, right? So we'll say JavaScript get form text value. How am I? Value. That's how you pull it out. That's right. That's right. It's the value element. Okay. Uh-oh. My terminal renderer's broken. Interesting. Trash. There we go. npm start. Okay, now much better. Much better. Now it's complaining about the log function, so I have one more little fix there and there because these are on the back end. Console.log. Okay. Now fetching. Now this is where did my certificate expire or something? Why is it taking so long? Let's see. HTTPS get Node.js. Let's try and... Okay, so here's an example. Yeah, it's like it's not even making the request. That would happen right here, http.s.get. Client disconnected before TLS was established. Interesting. Does it not like Does it not like my certificate or something? Oh, hold on. That one worked actually. So, okay, something's wrong with my website. It doesn't like my domain. And okay, yeah, response right here. Okay, so probably didn't have to do the whole inter-process communication for it. Probably just needed to figure out why my URL's not working. Did I have a typo in it or something? Did I really just have a typo? The HTTP? Now why did it work? Interesting. It worked when I typed it in, but not with the default value. You see, it's hanging, but if I type it in and I hit send, then it works. Then it works just fine. That's really bizarre, isn't it? Or maybe it's like waiting. No. That's interesting. I don't understand why it's behaving like that. Okay, well, it's not printing the response. Okay, what I want here is the data. I want to replace the data. Now, you see, it doesn't work on the first one. I hit send again, it works on the second one. Oh, look at that! It actually, that's not what I wanted at all. It actually output and rendered all of the content. Wow. And that's what I mean about insecure. Look at how insecure that... Well, I mean, obviously it's my fault for doing that, but... so what I don't want here is inner HTML. Inner text. What if I just set inner text Now I don't know if I can just set it to inner text or I will have to do an HTML escape, basically. No, that works. That treats it as actual HTML. Okay, now I actually don't want it in a pre anymore. I want it inside a text area. Okay. And we can set the style on that. Actually, I wonder how you can include a style sheet. Is it just relative? Okay. Let's go back. Now, with the text area, at least... Yeah, that's so weird. I'm gonna have to debug that and figure out why it's not working on the first request, but it's working on the subsequent requests. Yeah, okay, so that's good. And I actually want to reorganize this so that the text area is at the bottom. And the send button is right next to the URL fields with a break in between them. So now, yeah. Now we basically have a way to make requests and pull any URL we want. Okay. So what about Electron import CSS? I'm guessing you only need to do like a ... style import URL. Interesting. I'd rather do the link. CSS link HTML. Okay, we'll just try using the link rel equals style sheet. Where is it? There it is. So throw that up here, and we'll try. Sure. Well, let's put it in the templates. Why not? We'll just say body background color is off-white. And we'll try current directory. Hey, it worked! Excellent. Okay. So now from here it would just be a matter of styling the output, maybe making a drop down so you can select the method you want to use. Do a drop down, select what method you want to use, maybe style this to be a little bigger, add some padding, add some borders. But basically you've got a little REST tester, maybe printing the headers as a separate value and having a form field for the headers. That'd be kind of cool. K Cormac says, okay, I can't take that face filter seriously at all. Well, it's not my serious face. I don't really look like that, so you don't need to take it seriously. That's okay with me. Let's see. So the styles, I think we're pretty good here. Now, what I am interested in is how you can package these applications. So we looked at some real important core features and got through a lot of the main understanding of how it works. So you do the create window. We've got our inter-process communication going on. So we can send things back and forth. We can do anything in Node.js we want in the back end. We've got full control over the front end. The menu items is actually, so what do we got? The menu items and packaging. Those are a couple things I want to check out. So Electron window menu. because I don't want all those menu items. Set application menu. Sets menu as the application menu on macOS, on Windows and Linux. The menu will be set as each Windows main top. Okay. So we're gonna have to create a menu and then set it as the main thing. So I guess we'll do that in the create main window. I think we can do it here, that'll be fine. Or no, because it goes on all the windows, so maybe we'll do it before we do any windows. Do I want to do it on activate or ready? I'm not really sure which one's better, but we'll go with activate. And so we need to create a menu first, actually. And I guess we can just create a new menu. Let's see if that just creates a blank menu. No, that didn't actually seem to do anything. Okay, so let's... Working with Electron menus. Okay, we'll check out this tutorial. Integrating a custom menu. Yeah, menu... Oh, menu build from template. Okay. Okay, yeah, so let's see. Build from template. Okay. And it's just labels? No, I don't want labels. I want okay, Electron menu template. Now is there a specific structure that needs to be? Menu, oops, let's give it 2 words. Menu template. Okay, well, we'll go with this person's example. I don't think that's all I want, because I don't just want... I don't just want labels. I actually need shortcuts. Let's just try that. Let's see if that even works. No. So... Oh, I guess I need to do var menu? No, the menu's still the same. Yeah, let's try on ready. Before it calls create main window instead of the activate. Uh-oh. Too early. Or it couldn't find it. Interesting. It couldn't find it there. I guess I gotta import it. That'll make it a little happier. Okay, invalid template. Menu template must be an array. Now... Let's see. Will that work? Oh, it's it's like trying to start. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna borrow this guy's whole menu template. We're gonna try your whole template and see if it works. Okay, yeah, it starts with a list, and then... So... Yeah, it doesn't like that happening where it's happening. Let me try again and activate. No, that one doesn't really like it either. What if I did put it in create window? No, see that doesn't it doesn't like this. It doesn't like that at all. So let's see, integrating custom menu. In order to create a custom menu, we first have to import. That's fine. We imported it. Create window, build from template. Yeah, we copied that and it still didn't work. First, we reference. Finally, we use set application menu. I wonder if this is just an old version and it's out of date. Let's see if they have a guide on the menus. No. Passing null will remove the menu bar. This API has to be called after the ready event of the app module. After the ready event. How do I know? How do I guarantee it gets called after the ready event? Electron call function after ready event. No. No, I don't want to do it that way. When to call set... What is it? Set application menu. Electron. No, this is a little different. Wait, let's see if they've got maybe a code snippet. I want to see where they call it. Oh, let's see. Event ready versus activate Electron. Now, I'm also curious, can I just get a list of all the Electron event list? So, if I can get a list of all the events, maybe they have an event called done after ready or something. App event, okay. Event ready. Emitted when Electron has finished initializing. You can call app.isReady to check if this event has already finished firing. Okay. What if I just did like a while loop? I forget, does JavaScript have a while? While app is not ready. And then do... This is really dirty and I don't want to keep it this way, but I am curious if this is going to fix it. Oh, I guess I completely cut out all of the menu stuff. So let me see if I still have this guy's menu. Yeah, let's go back. Here we go. I'm gonna borrow this again. Thank you for making that tutorial on the menu, whoever you are. Okay. Is My Hero says, I'm a little late, but thanks again for another informative stream. You're welcome, and thanks for stopping by. Videos Tube says, nice. Okay. Now let's see if that works. Oh no, now the whole what happens? The whole app just quits now? Wait a second. So even when wait, did I rip out the menu stuff? Oh, you know what? Is it this? What I did was change this to a function instead of just one direct function. I don't think that's... Wow. Actually, okay, I kind of derped out here. I think when I do this, I just need to add the parentheses. Yeah, I just kind of derped out there. So... Let me try... Now that I'm not being so stupid over here, maybe it'll let me do that in the ready. It says you need to do it after the ready. No. Yeah, that's not working. Okay, so let me do this and put this back down at the bottom. And try this now. Wait, is my app called app? Yeah, it's called app. So that's really a terrible way to do it. And that doesn't seem to be working anyway. So if I cut this out, this should start back up like normal again. Okay. Okay, so that's working. Still trying to get the menu. I guess we'll try and do it before. Yes. Oh, there we go. That worked beautifully now. Okay, so you can call it from the ready function. That's good to know. So this is going to be, we'll do like a file exit, and then I also want the help about. Okay, so now we'll get file exit and we'll hook that up, and we get help about, and we'll open up that help window, and we'll make a help window again. Anderson Silva says, hi, welcome aboard. We're just doing some Electron app development, just kind of exploring Electron and getting an app ready. And so right now we've basically got a little HTTP helper, very basic push a button and make a request tool. And right now we're working on getting the menu items hooked up. Okay, so back in this guy's tutorial from, where is it, Coursetro? Coursetro.com. So making the menu items clickable. Okay, you add a click event in there. Now what about a shortcut? I'm curious about a shortcut. Okay, so here we've got the label, and then under the label you've got the command, or the click. How did they do this? Yeah, it's just a function, and what, you put a comma at the end of it? No, that doesn't label comma? Oops. There we go. No, this something doesn't look right here. So you, instead of just the label, and then there's no colon here. And in this case, yeah, we want app.exit, and we'll exit with 0, since that will be a successful. Oh no! Actually, that's not where we want it. We don't want it on file. We want it on the click, on exit. On exit, we want it to exit. So if we run it now, we can check and see exit does indeed exit. Very good. Menu's hooked up. Okay, now on this one, we want it to do click, And on the click, we want it to create the about window. Okay. And then we can come back here and we can kind of copy this one again. And so the create about window is going to create a window of a different size, smaller size. Dev tools, false. Node integration is false. And there was one called ignore the menu. What was it called? Browser window, Electron. And in the constructor, it had all kinds of properties. Yeah, here we go. Auto hide menu bar, that's what it was called. So on the about window, we don't want that one to have a menu bar. So we just set that to false. Auto hide menu bar is false. Okay, npm start, there we go. This is file help about, opens the, oh, yeah, we need to give it a different template though. Okay, so create about window, we actually want to open the about.html, and we actually want to store, you know, we don't even need to store the reference, do we? Just let it close itself. Now wait. We should say open or create. Well, I guess in this case we will. We'll just track it and we'll delete it every time so that we don't end up with a bunch of instances of it. And those are only 2 windows. So again, we'd make an array. We'd make an array if we needed to store more than 2 windows. Okay, now it should complain about not finding a template, and that's fine. So let's go into our templates and just create one called about. And we'll just say about. Same thing here, about. Take out all this, and all we really need is, this is a simple Electron app that does an HTTP request. Okay, so if we run it now, we do help about. Oh, it's still, oh, I think I need to, let's see, let's go back in our main.js, templates, about.html, and, okay. What was it complaining about? Uncaught exception, cannot read property, load file of undefined main.js 32. I'm not sure why it's complaining about the file. The file exists, right? I saved it. Nothing too funky going on there, right? Now, if we go back to the index, does that work? No. What did I change that broke everything? Hold on. Let's do some Control Z. Oh, okay. I know what I did. I forgot to assign this one up here. Okay. Now we've got a good help window, and I need to update this one back to about. Okay. Now our help window pops up. Oh, the menu bar is still there. Okay, let's see. Auto hide menu bar should be true. We do want to hide the menu bar. False is the default. There we go. Now we could put like an image. Yeah. Let's see. Anderson Silva asks, "Are you full stack developer? Java, JavaScript, Python, Golang?" You could say that. Full stack generally implies decent front end skills. And I can, as you can see, I can make my way through an HTML and a JavaScript front end, but I'm no designer or anything. But yeah, I do mostly back-end programming. Is My Hero says, everything seems to be going much smoother than the PyQt 5 window from yesterday. Yeah, I got a bit stuck on the Qt things in a few places. And once I got it all figured out, it was great, and it all made perfect sense when it was all said and done, but that's part of the learning process. You know, when I do these, I don't always know everything. Like this Electron one, I've never really made an Electron app other than like maybe a Hello World before. So this is kind of a learning process for me too when I do a lot of these topics, but a lot of them I am very familiar with too. So when I get stuck on streams like that, it's all part of the process. I think it's important once in a while to get stuck and show people, even experienced developers get stuck, and how they work through the problem. And eventually I do work through all the problems and get what I need. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed that I got stuck for so long. The whole stream was only about 2 hours yesterday though, so overall not very long. Not disappointing on how long I get stuck. Like, getting stuck for 20-30 minutes is really not that bad. I've been stuck on problems for days. I've been stuck on problems for weeks. Not like doing nothing else, but just like couldn't figure out what was going on. They were just such obscure problems. Okay, so anyway, we're looking really good here. I got my help about window, and I guess if we wanted to add an image, that should be really easy because this is just HTML and JavaScript. So I should have, oh, I thought I had a logo. There we go. Yeah, so let me copy this file in there, and in the About page, we're going to do image source equals, now this is interesting, I guess it's all relative to itself, and I'm going to show you an awesome little trick you can do in HTML. It's called the center tag. I know you're not supposed to use it, but my god, is it annoying to do. I mean, I guess you just gotta do the margin autos, but center still works, and it works fine. So, I still use it. You can hate on me, but I still use it when I need to. Not always. You would do margin auto, you'd have to set the width on the body, and then just set margin auto. So it's not that big of a deal, but for this I'm just going to use center. And so, oh, one last thing, let's see, menu, item, Electron, shortcut. I want to add a shortcut so that you can just do a Control Q. Okay, boom, accelerator. Interesting. Okay, yeah, we'll just go with Control Q. So file exit is also going to have an accelerator. I guess that's what they call a hotkey or a keybind, an accelerator. Okay, so now, yeah, there we go. Now we can see that it automatically puts the shortcut for exit. Now I'm going to try it. I'm going to press Control Q, and it worked. So that's very cool. It automatically hooks up the key event and puts the shortcut in the menu. So, very cool. Now how about this one? What if we did accelerator F12? Would that work? It does. Oh, yeah. You can open up too many windows, so maybe what I should do is about window does not equal null return. Oh, it needs some parentheses. This way, if the window is still open, it just won't do anything. Now if we do help again, okay. I guess maybe we should do a focus. Is there... Really? Is it just like that? No. No, it can't be that easy. Focus... I should have to at least call like electron.focus or something, right? Yeah, that's got to be some totally unrelated function. App.focus. I want to, if the window exists, I want it to bring it to the forefront. So like maybe it's in the background, and you do it, and so what should happen is you should pull it up to the front. Okay. Electron focus window. Let's see. Focus. Let's do Control F for focus. Focusable. Default is true. Okay, now what's the function to focus? Event. No. There we go. Browser window. Get focused window. Win.focus. Instance methods. Objects created with browser. Okay. Okay, then in that case we just say about window dot. Wait. Yeah. Right? Because that's a window. So if it exists, grab it and focus. There we go. Now if you do help about, it pops it up to the front without creating a new one. Okay. And it shows the shortcut. Awesome. Very good. Our app is looking solid except for how ugly it is. And again, I'm no designer, so what I would probably do is add Bootstrap. That's just what I would do. I'd add Bootstrap and jQuery probably, honestly. I guess you need jQuery for Bootstrap, but that's probably what I would do. Okay, so what else do we need to do for this? Like I mentioned some features we could add. Like we could add a drop down to choose whether we want to do a get or a post. We could store the history of the URLs. We could do all kinds of stuff. Actually, one problem it's still having is the first button press, it says it's sending the request, but it never does anything. We have to hit it twice before it starts working, and then it works fine. So I need to debug that and figure out what is wrong with my event and my callbacks back and forth. So, for example, we get it, and it says URL to fetch. Yeah, so it gets here, and it does this, and then like it goes into here but never comes back. So yeah, and it never gets here. Never gets here. Actually, you know what I could do is probably run it with the debugger. So I'm actually going to go back in WebStorm. And I guess we're pretty much done with the app, right? We got the menu hooked up, and so like if we wanted to build another application, this would serve as a great template. We've got menus hooked up with hotkeys. We've got the inter-process communication. We've got front-end and back-end stuff hooked up. So what I want to check is how to package Electron package application. Like how do you package it as a .exe or like an app bundle on Linux or a .app on Mac. I know how to do it with Python, but okay. Application distribution. To distribute your app with Electron, you need to download Electron's pre-built binaries. Next, the folder containing your app should be named app and placed in Electron's resource directory, as shown in the following example. Okay, so you just drop your app in app. So they've got the packages all precompiled. They've already got the distributions ready. You just drop in your JavaScript. That makes it really easy. Apart from shipping your app by copying all of its source files, you can also package an app into an ASAR archive to avoid exposing your app's source code to users. That's neat. I guess you're kind of like creating a jar, essentially. To use an ASAR archive to replace the app folder, you need to rename the archive to app.asar. Okay. And put it in the same directory. Okay, so either put the folder or the package. Rebranding with downloaded binaries. After bundling your app into Electron, you will want to rebrand Electron before distributing it to users. Okay. Windows, you can rename Electron.exe, and you can edit the icon with RC Edit. Yeah, that's actually really easy. I've done that before. Okay, and for Mac, you can rename Electron.app to whatever you want, and you modify the plist file to update icons and stuff. And on Linux, you just rename the Electron executable. And I guess you can package it however you want at that point. It's kind of agnostic. It's just like, here's your whole app built and ready to distribute. And you could just zip it up. You could just zip it up and say, here you go, unzip it, you're ready to go. But doing like a Debian package would be a better way to do it. And we looked at how to make a Debian package yesterday, or in one of the recent days. So maybe we'll do that in a second, but I want to see what they have here. Packaging tools. Forge, Builder, and Packager. Let's check out those real quick. So Forge, what will that do? I wonder if this one will take it further, and if any of these will make like the exe for you. Yeah, okay. So this will take the packaging one step further for you and actually make the deb file or the RPM or whatever. And it looks like it supports Arch Linux and a bunch of generic formats and Windows installers, MSI installers. Okay, this one actually looks really good. And the Electron packager here. So this one has a little less of the packages types supports, but it looks like it might be a little easier. So yeah, this one looks pretty straightforward. Let's give this one a shot. But before I do that, I'm going to package this up. So hold on, I'm going to move Electron QuickStart to Electron HTTP helper. Why not? We'll go with that. Git init, and then I guess I don't need to store the lock file, right? Oh, it created a git ignore. Wait, what? Oh, I'm in the wrong directory now. Close folder, open folder. Okay. Okay, so there's already a git ignore for node modules. Now, I don't think we need the package lock file. So that's good. Now let's say git status, git add, git commit, stable working app. Okay, just in case we mess anything up here, we can always revert. So let's go to GitHub and create new repository. And make this one under Dev Dungeon, and it's going to be called Electron HTTP tool. Simple Electron example app. Okay. Create repository. Copy this URL. Git remote. Add origin. Git remote. Oh. Yeah, let's remove the origin there. Okay. Git push set upstream origin master. Okay. So now we've got. Oh, you know what I never did change was the name of the app. So let me do that real quick in the package.json. We're going to call this HTTP tool 1.0, a simple Electron example app. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do URL here. And license, I'll do MIT. Okay, that looks fine now. Now what I want to try is, yeah, this tool. Install Electron Packager. npm install Electron Packager. And save dev. We'll go ahead and use save dev. Okay. And then usage. Electron Packager, source dir, app name, platform, arc. Okay. This will find or download the correct release of Electron, use that version to create an app. Okay, so actually what I'm gonna try here is so I have this other one I don't need now. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do npm install globally the Electron Packager. And then I'm gonna try and call it from outside the folder. So they said call it like this. Electron Packager source directory is going to be the Electron HTTP tool. The app name will be, we'll try HTTP tool. Platform. Now, how do I format the name of the platform? Oh, where is it? Oh. Okay, it's not telling me. So Win32 Darwin, but what's Linux? Will please tell me the list. Please tell me the list of options. I mean, should I just try typing in Linux? Do I need Linux-x86_64? Do I need platform and arc can be omitted in 2 cases. If you specify all, okay, otherwise it'll just bundle for the... Okay, so let's omit it, and maybe it'll tell me. Maybe it'll go, oh, auto-detected Linux-64. Okay. Unable to determine unknown property. Please specify an unknown property. So I'm gonna try installing Electron globally too to see if that helps. No. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna try Googling that. Electron Packager. Now, there are multiple versions, so maybe one of them works better than the other. Yeah, it's... Let's try this. Yeah, that's so unhelpful. Unable to determine unknown property. Please specify an unknown property. That's like the least helpful message you could ever give somebody. You forgot to define something. Oh, jeez. Okay, Electron Packager, you looked nice at first. Let's try going inside the directory. And try calling it again, but we'll just do dot. No. Okay, let's try just Electron Packager dot. It got closer. Okay. It'll infer the app name from product name. Okay. So do I... Okay, let's try the other one then, because that one is retarded. I'm sorry. Unable to determine unknown property. Please specify unknown property. I'm not very happy with that. Okay, so we need yarn. Do I have yarn? Do I install yarn with npm? I guess so. That works. Yarn add electron builder tech dev. Okay. Specify the build configuration in your package.json. Whoa. What? It totally rewrote. It totally rewrote my package.json. That's why I couldn't find a name. Look at that. Wait a second. Oh, I'm in the did I... Oh, you know what? I think I deleted the wrong project. Okay, and that's kind of why I put it all up on GitHub in case I did something like that. And I knew I had two of them with such a same name that it would be a problem. But it's okay. We'll get right back to where we were. And boom, we're there. So now we'll do Electron... What was it? Electron Packager? Okay. But... Well... We'll try installing it locally in this folder and see what happens. I thought it would just... It said it would download the correct version itself, but... There we go. Packaging app for platform Linux, x64. Okay. Boom. there's our app. And there's our app. It's called Electron QuickStart still, because we didn't really change it, but yeah, awesome. Oh, why won't it's not maximizing, or it's not doing the oh, you know what? Maybe it's because I disabled the developer tools. When you disable the developer tools, maybe that also disables the... No, I think it might have been the menu. So the Control-Shift++ wasn't working anymore. And it's because of one of two reasons. One, maybe it was because I disabled the dev tools, but I don't think that's why. I think it's because I disabled the original menu, and it was in the original menu where they added the shortcut for Control-Shift++. So I'd have to add that back if I wanted to allow it again. So, okay, we've got our app package. So if we wanted to make a Debian package, I can show you real quick how to do that. Now we just need to look up a Debian control file and get an example control file. Now, wait, did I pass it? Where's the control? Here we go. Here's an example. Okay, so we make a directory called Debian, and then we create a file inside that called control, and you put the files in there, right? So in this case, we're just going to call it, the source is going to be, we'll just call it Electron test. Unknown. You can delete a lot of this stuff. Let's see, I don't even think you need source or section. I think you need... We don't have any dependencies because it's coming with it. I think we can get away with literally just that maintainer package architecture. We'll try it. And then basically you create, we'll do Nautilus. Okay, so then you create a new folder basically in the structure of the file system that you want to use. So basically we'll put everything inside opt Electron test. Boom. And then we'll also just add a launch script. So that's going to be... Wait. Oh, looks like we left off some files that need to go in. Oh no, I went too high out of the directory. Okay, so this is where I would do user bin. I guess it would be user local bin would be the more appropriate place. And then in here we could say oh, see, I hate when you right click and you do open in terminal. It doesn't actually open in that directory. Okay, so you got to do this user local bin. Okay, and then I'll do a launcher called Electron test, and it's basically just going to call it's a bash script that's just going to call, what is it? Opt Electron test, Electron QuickStart. Opt Electron test, Electron QuickStart. So we just create a launcher script to go with it. Okay, so this is our app that we're going to distribute, right? So we go here, outside of it, we say dpackage-b to build, and you tell it the directory. Oh, it looks like it looks like it has a line ending problem with our control file. Package Electron test. Okay, let's try this one more time. Parsing file error. Error on line 4, Electron test :any. Missing version. Yeah, I guess we do need a version. So I'm trying to make a minimalist. Oh, requires new line? Okay, sorry. Trying to make an absolute minimum control file. Okay, it's building the deb package. And so what I'm going to do here is open a new window and confirm that if I type in Electron test, I get nothing. Nothing happens. Okay, and then now that this is done building and we have a deb file, holy crap. Oh no, it's only 52 megabytes. I thought it came out to be like 500. Stephen Plank says, what's up with that music? I'm not sure what you mean. What's up with that music? Is there something wrong with it? Is there something strange about it? Is it too loud or something? So let's see. Now we want to install it. So we'll do dpackage-i electron-dev. I think we're going to need sudo. Package architecture any does not match system. Okay, so there's a difference between any and all, I believe. Debian package arc any verse all. And I believe if you do any, I forget the difference. Configuring architecture. To add an extra architecture. Oh. So you can just... Oh, no, I see what it's saying. I thought it was saying you could do it to a specific package. Any, here we go. For multi-arc, foreign, any depends on libraries. Well, I guess this is 64, so there's no reason to mess with the any. Why don't we just do AMD 64? Since this really is specific to AMD 64. Okay, so now we want to go back and rebuild it. Should only take a minute to rebuild, and then I'm going to prove that we can install the deb file and get an executable that we can launch. And then we'll basically have a fully working app that we can distribute. You can just give people the deb. Anybody who has a Debian or Ubuntu-based distribution would be able to just install it like this. dpackage-i. Boom. So now, if I open a totally new window and I do Electron test, now I have the binary available. If I hit enter, it should run. No, permission denied. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. So inside of this package where I have the user bin launcher. What? Hold on. CD user. Oh, local bin. Now you can see there's no X flag. There's no executable flag. So we have to set that. Okay. So now let's do. Okay, dpackage-b electron. Okay. Dpackage build. It's gonna build, and then while that's doing, I'll go ahead and remove the one we have just to make sure it's gone. Okay, so it's gone. Electron test. Now we run it again. There's no command found. Okay, this is done building, so now we'll do sudo dpackage -i electron quickstart deb. Okay, it's installing to my Ubuntu. Now we can run it again, and boom, it's open. Help about, we got our about window, file quit, no problem. There we go. Now there's still that one outstanding bug. There is this one outstanding bug where you have to press it twice before it actually works, so I need to debug that. But other than that, we basically walked through the entire process of building an Electron app from scratch, implementing the styles and the pages and basically everything we need, and packaging it up as a final product. So hopefully that inspires you to create your own Electron apps. I know that I will probably be using this as a template in the future if I need to make some more Electron apps. And I appreciate everybody who came out. I'm going to wrap it up and call it a night. So thanks again. I guess I'll do a quick plug. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. I do these live streams every day now. And if you haven't joined the Discord, go to devdungeon.com. There's a big button on the right sidebar that says join me on Discord. There's my book, Security with Go. Highly recommend that amazing book. You can check out the blog, got lots and lots of tutorials. The GitHub page, github.com/devdungeon. Lots of tutorials and stuff there. So give me some ideas, leave some comments if you have any suggestions or requests of topics to cover. Otherwise, have a good night. I will see you all tomorrow.